Welcome. Today we're looking at a West 916. This is a 2-row dimple lock, kaba style, with 2 rows of 6 pins. They're directly opposing each other and run horizontally across the keyway or across the core. Of note here, this lock is supposed to have a steel cover face there. What it does, it doesn't prevent the core from coming out, but it does protect the plates that hold the springs in, spring covers there. So in order to make this possible to gut, I've removed this so that I'm going to be able to gut it after we've picked it. I have actually, this is my second time filming this lock. The first time didn't go very well. We had a bit of a gutting disaster, and I will link that video below if you enjoy watching those sorts of things. During the gut disaster, I lost track of where the pins are supposed to be. All of the drivers came out, so I've repinned the lock. It's similar to how it was, but it's actually a bit harder to pick. In any case, let's get to picking. I'm using a multi-pick number 7 flag, and I'm just jamming in the top of the keyway, which allows me to get both sides at once. Initially just working on the right-hand side. Put binder there. Nice click, little click. That's an itchy dog if you can hear the weird noise in the background. I'll click there out of 2, click out of 1. Okay, and because I'm picking the same direction that I'm tensioning in this case on the right hand side, I've got everything set as far as I can in this direction. So now I'm going to go to left hand side. I'll click out of 6, click out of 4, not sure about that one, click out of 1, click out of 3, now I'm going to go to the bottom of the keyway, and that allows me to pick counter to the way that I'm tensioning for the right hand row. Looking for counter rotation. Not sure about that one. A little click on 5. Some binding around there. Not sure which side it is. There it is. There it is. It's number 4 on the right. So we're open. Let's lock that back up. Zoom out a smidgen. And I'll try and make the gut a little bit more efficient and watchable than last time. Alright, so we're locked up. Once again, that face would normally go on there. It's held on by a couple of crimps, and it's actually dimpled into position in 2 spots, so I had to hammer that off. But as a result of that, there is an awfully deep C-clip there. I'm going to have to still get that out to show you the core. But fortunately it's a bit easier now because I can just pull these spring covers and we can gut it a little bit more easily and controllably. So we did lose a spring there. Whoops, oh, good one, Nick. Okay, so we've got 2 sets out there. And I've probably mixed these up. Goodness me, another 2 sets. Key pin from 3. I think I mixed the drivers up actually because 3 was one of the first binders. So, and we've still got a key pin there for 4. These key pins are really pretty special. They are designed to be overset traps in many cases, particularly the no lift or the low lift ones. Should you lift them too high, especially early on in the pick, you will definitely overset them. And because of their shape, they'll allow you to keep picking the rest of the lock. So you'll just get further and further into a false set, but you'll never have a chance of ever getting it out of it. In the last slot here we have a little ball bearing with its own special spring. It's a core centering device, so it keeps everything sort of in the right location. Or when the keys are directly up and down and the lock is locked, it sort of gives a more positive feel of that lock being locked. Let's try going reverse and using the cover strip to prevent further mishaps. So the drivers for a start are hollow at the back to accommodate the springs, which allows it to have a very low profile. Some of them are standard, as in just no shape to them, just straight up and down. The others are, I guess you could call it a mushroom with a very, very sharp edge to it. As such, they catch very, very readily. Furthermore, the core actually has overmilling, and what that does is it forces you to set pins twice effectively. On a binding pin, you know, you'll sort of get a click out of it and a bit of core movement perhaps, but you won't have completely set it. It's quite possibly still needs one more touch in order to be properly released from that countermilling or overmilling. It's not quite as effective as countermilling. I'd imagine with the shape of these mushrooms, if there were countermilling in the core, this would be one hell of a lock to pick. Just going to let that one. I hope I'm staying predominantly in frame here. I don't think at this stage in my picking career anyone's doubting that I'm picking. I think this has been rated as a purple belt lock. I'd possibly be more generous and give it brown, maybe. It'd be a very easy brown. Otherwise a fairly difficult purple, I guess. A lot of fun to pick though. If you get a chance to pick one of these up, West 916, they're a Japanese kaba style lock. I do recommend it. I've had a blast picking this, and the fact that I essentially repinned it after my gutting disaster meant that I got to sort of learn again. Mind you, I've only picked this probably 3 times since I reassembled it, so I didn't really get to learn a binding order, but the lessons learned from the last time still apply. So lots of fun feedback from the lock. It's not quite a multi-lock, spooled multi-lock level of fun, but still heaps of fun. Now the reason I wanted to show you this for a couple of months now. And the reason I haven't been able to is because I didn't have any way of getting this bastard of a circlip out. So I finally got myself some decent circlip pliers, so bear with me. Still impossible to see down there. Grab that thing. Nope. If it was a standard core, standard housing, I would probably even skip this part just to save some time, but the core is something. Oh, goodness me, come on. Yes, I had it, I think. I had it for a second. Why do they do this? Who wanted that? And out comes the core. Try and keep things in frame. Alright, let's give you a bit of a look at the core here. I think you can see the, particularly around say chamber 3 in this shot, you can see the overmilling in the core. That's just a straight keyway. It's just an extension part on the core there, which is pinned on. So you can see 6 holes with the 7th dimple there for that little ball bearing. I'll pop this down here and we'll bring you for a close-up of the pins. I can't really see anything in the chambers in terms of milling, or it doesn't even fit. Get something that's going to fit down there. No, they're smooth. So there's no milling in the housing itself, just the core. So let's bring you for a close up of these pins because they are worth having a look at. And there's our overall shot. I'll bring you right in close on those. So you can see just how sharp those mushrooms are, and the features in the key pins, you know, the spooling in the key pins that's designed to be an overset trap. So anyhow, that was the West 916 12 pin dimple lock. Thanks for watching.